Hey, True Believers, England Teen here with another top 10 comic books sold to readers. Now, Comic-Con, great list, but it will tell you what the comic shops are ordering. This one tells you what the comic book readers are leaving those shops with, preferably after paying. Now, after we count down the floppy copies, as they're being called today, we're going to go on over to Comixology, the world's largest digital comic book shop, to see who wins the digital week. Is it Marvel, DC? Maybe the Independents will make a good run. Now, this is from Bleeding Cool, so take it with a grain of salt, and these are the participating comic book shops. So if you're in their area, by all means, stop by, say hi, maybe buy something, and remember, always support your own local comic book shop. Now, without further ado, let's get this party started. Starting off the countdown at number 10 is Second Coming, number 3. Coming in at number 9 is The History of the Marvel Universe, number 3. In the number 8 spot, we have Flash Forward, number 1. At number 7, we have Once and Future, number 2. Coming in at number 6 is Superman, number 15. At number 5, we have Absolute Carnage, number 3. In the 4 slot is Justice League, number 32. Coming in at number 3 is Spider-Man, number 1. And in the runner-up spot at number 2 is Batman, number 79. And with no surprise, at number 1 is House of X, number 5. Well, technically it's a tie, 4-4, with 2 independent comic books in the top 10. However, we got to take a look at the fact that Marvel owns the number 1 spot and 3 spots in the top 5. So I've got to go on ahead, even though I'm a DC fan and I'm all team DC. I have to just grin and bear it and say Marvel wins this particular floppy copy week. But that's what I have to say about the whole thing. Let's find out what the comic shops have to say about this week's countdown, and then we're going to go on over to Comixology, the world's largest digital comic book shop, and see who wins that digital week. Hawks and Pox continues to dominate weekly sales on most every book. We've yet to find the true ceiling at each location. Spider-Man number 1 did tremendously well, and while I found the story a bit of a cliche by the numbers approach, most customers were thrilled by it. Not sure how it fits into Earth 616. Is it MC2? Is it a what if? Whatever. That's funny because after I read Spider-Man, I really felt, whatever. Yeah, it isn't that great, guys. Sorry, man. I wish I could say more. I really want every comic book to be awesome, but that was just a nothing burger. Marvel takes the top 3 spots in our weekly top 10 at FFF this week. J.J. Abrams seems to be the only person alive who can knock both House of X, Absolute Carnage, and Batman down off the number 1 spot. Let me read again because that sounds vaguely important. J.J. Abrams seems to be the only person alive who can knock both House of X, Absolute Carnage, and Batman down off the number 1 spot. Good job there, guys. We actually sold more copies of the Chip Kid cover than the regular, but we sold a lot of both and a handful of the other covers as well. House of X and Absolute Carnage sold pretty close to each other, but House managed to sell just a handful more. Once and Future seems to have dried up for some stores, but we sold pretty well on the second issue this week. But we also have a lot of Kieran Gillen fans who are thirsty for something in between issues of Die. Batman hit at number 5 in our top 10 list, the lowest I've seen it sell in a long time. But being up against Abrams, Hickman, and Cates makes for a difficult week in non-Marvel books. The back half of our list sees regulars like Justice League, Guardians, and Superman mixed with Flash Forward and Lex Luthor. Flash Forward is an interesting book that I hope keeps readers, but I don't see many going for it unless it comes with another In-Hyuk Lee cover. The variant cover was good, but the story's horrible for Flash Forward. I did not enjoy it at all. I hope you guys did. I just didn't care for it too much, tell you the truth. It wasn't a great week so far for comic books. The lesson of the week is don't underestimate the ire of a Star Wars fan scorned. Spider-Man clocked in at only number 4 and the House of X ran laps around its numbers. What I thought was good sales tactic by mentioning that the Spider-Man book was very new reader friendly because it isn't set in continuity may have also been read as this book doesn't count. It has definitely taken a lot more effort than usual to sell it or even explain what it is to burden wallets that are all about to lock into getting all the X-Men books after the stellar run that House and Powers have been. An event that has succeeded in justifying the hype. Abrams' name has had mixed reactions on some lips. It read like a swear. Number 4 isn't a terrible place to be on the charts, but it should have been a much bigger deal. Well, that's just the hate culture coming out. You know, those who automatically hate everything because it might be associated with another thing they hate. Therefore, everything from here on in, forever and ever. Well, you hear it. Oh my gosh, Ms. Marvel sucks, so all of Marvel Comics is dead. You know, that kind of thing. Or J.J. Abrams, I didn't like Force Awakens, therefore everything else he will ever make in his entire life automatically sucks. It's the hate culture. That's what you're getting when you get that kind of thing. No surprise, House of X is top dog this week, though worth noting that we've got last week's Power of X on the list this week too. Now that we've managed to get our orders better in line with the hype, most notable is J.J. Abrams and Son effort on the first issue of their Spider-Man mini with lovely art from the always excellent Sarah Pichelli. Batman camps out at the number 3 spot, patiently waiting for Marvel's event gimmick books to take a break so it can move back to its usual spot at the top. For my own part, extremely happy to see Kieran Gillen and Dan Mora's Once and Future holding strong sales on its second week. Wonderful book. Haven't read Once and Future yet. It's on the list. I'm looking forward to it, especially now that I see that people are buying. I guess it's something, you know, gotta know for the cultural zeitgeist and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, there you go, gang. That's what the comic shops have to say about this week's countdown. Let's go on over to Comixology and see who wins the digital week. Is it Marvel? Is it DC? Or maybe, for once, independent comic books will pull out. They won't. We know they won't. Anyway, let's get to it. At number 10 is Valkyrie, number 3. Coming in at number 9, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, number 9. In the number 8 spot is Flash Forward, number 1. In the 7 slot is Critical Role Vox Machina Origins, number 3. Coming in at number 6 is Absolute Carnage, number 3. At number 5, we have the J.J. Abrams Spider-Man, number 1. In the number 4 spot is Superman, number 15. And at number 3 is Justice League, number 32. And in the runner-up spot at number 2 is Batman, number 79. Which, of course, leaves the number 1 spot for House of X, number 5. Marvel takes the top 10, 5-4 with one independent comic book, and it's a good independent comic book, by the way. You guys should check out Critical Vox. Good stuff, good stuff. So there you go. But DC owned the top 5 except for that number 1 spot. They had 3 in the top 5, while Marvel only had 2. Still got to give the win to Marvel. Maybe DC could pull it out at the back half. Unfortunately, we know how that usually goes, though. Marvel usually owns that back half. I am predicting a slaughter. Coming in at number 11 is Year of the Villain Lex Luthor, number 1. The score is now tied 5-5. At number 12, History of the Marvel Universe, number 3, makes it 6-5 in Marvel's favor. Coming in at number 13 is Star Wars Age of Resistance Rey, number 1. It's 7-5 in Marvel's favor. At number 14, we have Dr. Aphra, number 36. It's now 8-5 in Marvel's favor. At number 15, we have Tony Stark Iron Man, number 16. It's now 9-5 in Marvel's favor. At number 16, we have Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, number 3. It is 9-6, Marvel's favor. Coming in at number 17 is Once and Future, number 2. It's still 9-6, Marvel's favor, but now with 2 independents. At number 18, we have Nightwing, number 64. It's now 9-7, still Marvel's favor. At number 19 is Aquaman, number 52, changing the score to Marvel 9 and DC 8. And at number 20 is Black Hammer, number 12, so that's 3 for the independents, 9 for Marvel, and 8 for DC. Okay, DC lost. Yeah, I know, but it wasn't a slaughter. Got to give it that much. Independents actually showed up. They showed up to play this time around. They definitely did more so than they usually do anyway, and I'm glad to see that. Black Hammer's a good title. I think Critical Vox is great, and I guess I got to read this Once and Future, man. Seriously. Y'all should be checking that out. Alrighty. I'm not disappointed by that, actually. I wish DC did win, sure, because I'm Team DC, but if you're going to lose, it's good not to lose by a mile, and this time they didn't. Anyway, there you go, guys. That's the countdown. What do you think? Is there something that should be there that isn't, or something that isn't there that should? I would love to have seen You Are Obsolete #1 get a spot, or 1955 Archie. Those two were both awesome and deserve to be in the countdown, deserve to be in the top 10. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like and share, subscribe, and make sure you're ringing that notification bell and that your notifications are on for YouTube, because that's all they really care about. And if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over to Patreon or to Ko-Fi. Links in the description below. And helps keep our lights on here, helps keep making videos for you. Or even go to Ko-Fi and you could commission your own video like so many others have done. It's a lot of fun finding out what you guys want me to do, and it's a lot of fun doing it most of the time. Anyway, I would like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers out there. And hold on, we got a couple of more covers here. Thank you very, very much for watching.